No opening statement.
Fire away, guys.
What was it like out there, 55,000?
It was pretty incredible. It's hard to kind of imagine yourself playing basketball in front of 55,000. I was looking at some of the pictures before I came in here, and just like even the backdrop of seeing people react to your shots and stuff, so it's just really cool. And just the way people support women's athletics here in the state of Iowa, I think is pretty incredible as a whole, but obviously women's basketball especially. So I'm just lucky that, you know, I get to play here and put on an Iowa jersey every day. And you know, they're not just coming here to be a part of, you know, a historic moment. They're in the game. They're invested. They're cheering. They're loud. They know what's going on, and that's what only adds to the fun for all of us.
How did the weather affect you guys as players?
It was a little windy. The cold was perfectly fine. Like, it was a bit chilly. I'm thankful we play an indoor sport. The wind, for sure. I promise I'll never airball again a free throw. But yeah, the wind took it on that one. But I mean, I told the team before the game, DePaul's dealing with the same thing. Like, that's not an excuse. And you know, get to the basket early. You know, find ways to score. And obviously, I don't think our three-point shooting, I don't know what the final number was. I don't think it was all that great, but it was definitely windy. It was kind of a throwback to my younger days when I was out in the driveway or at a park with my brothers. And but it was fun. It was a once-in-a-lifetime event, and you know, I'm glad we played pretty well.
You've got a couple of months to, you know, imagine what it was going to be like. You guys come out to Back in Black. How close was that moment to what you had been thinking about?
Yeah, I was honestly. It's hard to really wrap your head around everything that's happening. Obviously, you can imagine it, but it's never the same until you're actually in the experience, enjoying it and living it. And you know, our team was kind of getting ready to walk down the tunnel, just because, you know, we understand this is, you know, a once in a lifetime thing. Yeah, it's the same coming down Carver Tunnel, but this is a different thing we've never experienced. And running out to 55,000 people, we've never ran out to really more than, I think, 20,000 at the Final Four. So more than double that, and just a special experience. And the amount of people just screaming for us is just, it just kind of takes your breath away for a moment.
Coach Bluter said that she went to Beth Getz about a week after the Final Four with this idea. When did you hear about it first?
Well, my teammates would tell you I'm always in the know about a lot of the things. If you want information, they come to me. But actually, Coach Bluter kept this a pretty decent secret from me. But I think I knew before the rest of the team, and I was like, oh yeah, like, we're doing this. Like, it was just a great idea by Coach Bluter, and she, you know, administration, obviously Beth got behind it, but the people that don't really get the credit are the facilities people. Like, they're here working so hard. They were here last night putting everything down, even the day before that, drying up the court. I mean, so much goes into it. I mean, there's heated benches, there's hand warmers, they rented, that's not our normal court. They rented that court, they decaled that court. You know, they put in a lot of time and effort, and they were going to make this happen. I know they told Coach Bluter on Thursday when we were deciding, are we going to go inside, are we going to play outside? They're like, we're going to wake up at 4 a.m. if that's what it means to be able to make this happen for you and your team. And I think that just is very selfless. It speaks to the way they want to make history with us, and it doesn't happen without them. So I'm just really thankful. But honestly, I didn't really know. They kind of kept it from me, probably because they knew I would tell a few people. But no, it's special, and you know, credit to Coach Bluter for, you know, getting everybody on board, but also the administration and everyone and the fans rallying around us and really making it what it is. It doesn't happen without 55,000 people coming and supporting us.
How much outdoor pick?
What do you want for this season?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is patience and taking it one game at a time. You know, I'm treating this year like it's my last year. I come into the day, I want to go 1-0 every single day. I want to have a great practice every single day. I want to soak up every single moment that I can. You know, I'm not looking too far ahead. Obviously, my goal is to be a national champion. That's what it always is. But I understand the work that it takes to get there, and that it's a really long year. Every single year I've been here, there's been ups and downs, and that's the beauty of basketball. Is one day might not be your day, but you respond, you wake up the next day, and I think that's a testament of the teams Coach Bluter built, is like really great teams that are playing really great basketball in March. And I think the biggest thing for myself is getting these younger girls to continue to come along. Obviously, it's not quite as sharp as we want it to be today, but I still think there's a lot of areas we can grow, but also we have a lot of really good players on this team that can do a lot of really great things. So I think that's what I'm most excited about, is leading them and helping them, you know, to continue to believe in themselves, because we're going to need it.
What do you think will stick with you most about today?
Stick with me most? Honestly, a lot of things, but I think just like our kid captain, like it's different when you are able to meet them and understand their story, and she actually has a personal connection to our associate head coach, Jan Jensen. So, I mean, she just got re-diagnosed with cancer, and nobody is happier in the world to be here than her, and that it, like, I told Kate, like, after she talked to us and Coach Jay kind of told us her story, I'm like, you should never, like, you should come into every game and understand, like, it doesn't matter if we win or lose. It doesn't matter if you score 30 points. It doesn't matter what happens. Like, that kid is living her life to the fullest, and she has something that is really bad in her life, and we're lucky enough to play a sport, and she would do anything to do that again. You know, she was a swimmer, a great swimmer, and she's not able to do that right now. So I think being able to get to meet her, and she gave me her little player card, and it says favorite Hawkeye, and it says Caitlin Clark, and I know I'll keep that for forever, and those are the moments that you kind of keep for forever. That matters way more than, you know, how I could have played today or how I'll play the rest of the season.
How much outdoor pickup did you play as a kid, and how
A lot.
would this compare?
Yeah, I begged my dad to extend the driveway growing up and pour more concrete and put a hoop in, and he finally did. It took him a while. And then I took some spray paint and spray painted all across the driveway, which I don't think he loved because it stayed there for quite some time. But looking back, it kind of helped. But me and my brothers, like, I would get ready for school as fast as I could when I was in, like, 4th, 5th, 6th grade. Like, I was wearing a blue polo and khaki pants, and I was out in the driveway playing basketball. Like, that's just what I loved to do, whether it was cold, whether it was hot, whether I was in my winter coat, whether I was sweating bullets. I probably went to school and smelled. But, like, I just loved basketball. Like, it was just what I loved to do. My brothers loved it. My family would always rebound for me. It was just something we were kind of bonded by. But, you know, some of my most fond memories growing up are playing in the driveway with my brothers and enjoying that. And I remember, like, the feeling when my dad poured more concrete, tore up the grass, and made it like a full three, so I could have a full 3-pointer. It was going to get cut off if he didn't, so I'm glad he did. I probably wouldn't be a good shooter if he didn't do that. So,
Caitlin, I think there was a point for like the start of the 4th quarter, the IOWA chant goes.
Yeah.
It goes for like 10 minutes
Yeah.
at least. Lisa said you guys might not have been the prettiest basketball you guys
It
played all
wasn't.
game,
They're
but
still going,
did
yeah.
you kind of take a moment to like relish how loud
Yeah.
it was and just how different that was?
Yeah, it was so loud, and that's not always something that you get in Carver, the IOWA chant. So it's like kind of a special football thing, but the football fans, Hawkeye fans, kind of made it into a basketball thing today, and that was super fun. I was like, I can't hear or think it right now because it was so loud, and it didn't stop. I remember, like, at one point we had fouled, and we came into a huddle, and I was like, I couldn't even talk like this close to Gabby because that's how loud it was. But like I said earlier, it just shows how invested our fans are into the game. You know, they're paying attention, they're watching, and they love it and they support it, and you know, we're really lucky to have that. It's nowhere else in the country has what we have.
When you had the opportunity to soak this in, like, there were tons of tailgaters out there. Did
Yeah.
you know, walk around out there?
I
and see
didn't. It probably wouldn't have been a great idea for myself, but I didn't. My family was having a great tailgate. That was very apparent, so I'm glad that they did that. But I saw them at, it's kind of weird because I'm used to being a part of the tailgate because my brother played football for Iowa State, so it was like always something I was a part of, so I was a little bummed. I'm like, man, I can't go. But then I see them at, like, the Hawk Walk, and I got to see them. But yeah, we came out of shoot around this morning, and everybody was like, people are tailgating, like, this is amazing. Like, it was just kind of a buzz. And then I kind of got to see it all actually as we were driving in. We kind of looped down and around, so I got to see a bunch of people tailgating and, like, waving to us on the side of the road. So it was kind of cool because usually we're not on that side of it.
Is this something you could see happening every year?
Oh man, I hope. That would be fun. I mean, I'd sign up for it. Obviously, a lot of things have to go the right way. A lot of things have to go into it. But, I mean, why not try to break it every year? I would get behind that.
What does it mean for you to be in this moment where you're seeing this explosion, not just of women's basketball, but women's sports in general, especially when you look at what Nebraska volleyball accomplished over the summer?
Yeah, I think it's special. I think it's something that is deserved. I think it's something that should have been done probably a long time ago. I think people are starting to understand how amazing women's sports are and how fun it is to watch. And it's just going to continue to grow. I think that's an amazing thing. It has so much space to continue to grow. It has so many good players in the game, whether it's, like you said, volleyball or basketball or softball, gymnastics. Like, every one, you look at the viewership continues to go up. You continue to give them the platform, and they're going to deliver. And you know, I've always been a huge fan of women's athletics, and you know, it's something I love watching, not just basketball. So I think the biggest thing is just, you know, give them the opportunity to shine, and they certainly will.
Coach Bluder.
What was that like?
The first three, I was like, man, I hope this goes in because it could definitely be an air ball. But yeah, I had to definitely make one of those in this game. I just had to pull up from the logo and make a deep three for the fans. Yeah, I saw the clip in the locker room. It was pretty cool. Had a little celebration. Probably ran back on defense a little too slow, so coach probably won't like that. But yeah, it was fun. The crowd erupted. It was cool to hear that.
You hit
Everywhere
that
you
three,
look.
but you also had a triple double outside.
Mhm.
Like, just thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think, Addie and Hannah especially, I thought they finished, pretty well around the rim. Molly made some good shots. And like I said, I don't get assists if it isn't for them. And it was good to see Gabby to make a couple there at the end. She got a little unlucky in and out and off the backboard, but that's something I take pride in. Is I want to be able to do a lot of different things for our team, and I think especially our transition offense is at its best when I get the rebound and push in transition. So that's always what I'm trying to do, and I think at this point a lot of people know that's kind of my game. So it's what I pride myself in every single time I step on the floor.
Coach Bluter talked about.
Everywhere you look, you'd see somebody who drove 5 hours to come here. First time they've seen you play, and their little girls and even boys were 22.
Yeah.
Do you ever stop and kind of go, wow, this is for me, this is for us, this is such a neat moment?
Yeah, I try to as much as I can, and it's so hard. Like, I just really struggle to wrap my head around everything that's happening, and I understand what we're doing for women's basketball and all of that, but just the way people are screaming my name and things like that, it's something I will never take for granted, but also something I feel like a lot of pride and responsibility of making time for them and getting to, give them a second of my time. So I try to make as much time as I can for those people when I ran off the field today, but yeah, I feel like I was just that little kid. I know I always say that, but it's crazy. Like, it's just hard to fathom, and I'm really lucky to be here and have a state that I grew up in really rally around me and this team, and I couldn't imagine it to go any better.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Thanks, Caitlin.